Hey, what's going on? It's John Moore here, and I have a special guest on today's podcast. We have 19-time best-selling author, former teacher of mine, newly renowned pastor of the Remnant Worshiper Church. We have here today Pastor Dr. Eddie Connor. How's it
Honored
going
to be
today?
honored to be with you, man. Honored to be here.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, let's get right into the meat of it. All right. So we're talking about your new book, Know Your No. Um, the title is so profound. Know your no. What it feels like to me, if you know your no, you can know what to say yes to.
hmm
What does this mean to you?
Yeah, it's so many people who are walking on eggshells in life, who don't have a backbone; they have a wishbone. Who believe they
Mm,
have to be so nice, and they coddle everybody when they're really only supposed to be kind. And so, I really wanted to write a book that gives people freedom to say no. No is
mm.
one of the most unlike words in any
Yeah,
lexicon.
yeah.
People don't like to be told no. People don't like to hear no, especially when it is that they're trying to get something from somebody. But I believe no means new opportunity.
Mm,
No does not come with a comma. No doesn't
mm.
come with an explanation. No comes with an exclamation.
Right,
Your
right.
no is your no. Scripture even says, be wise in the whole aspect of knowing your no.
Yeah,
And your yes is your yes. Your no is your no.
yeah, yeah.
You
Your
got to stand firm on
yeah,
that.
yeah. Your book talks a lot about how no hurts, right?
It hurts. It
It's
hurts. Yeah.
almost painful. It's like a
Uh,
physical pain.
yeah.
And so in your book, you talk about how we put a lot of they onto people
Yeah.
instead of looking at us inwardly.
Absolutely.
How are you able to, you know, set boundaries and be able to stand firm on those? Because a lot of the times we're emotional and we say, "Oh, I don't like to say no," or "I don't like to set this boundary," out of fear of what somebody else thinks.
Yeah. And that's why the caption is how to build healthy boundaries and love without losing yourself. Got to know who to know, got to know who to know.
Mm,
And that is, you can't create any boundaries with anybody else until you first create boundaries with yourself.
mm,
Boundaries are standards, boundaries are principles, the things that you're going to live by.
mm,
This is what you're not going to succumb to, surrender on, acquiesce on. This is how you're going to live your life. What are your boundaries when it comes to your spiritual development? What are your boundaries when it comes to your appetite? What are your boundaries when it comes to what you say and what you're going to do and how you're going to live your life each
mm.
and every single specific day?
All right.
If you can't create boundaries with that, to actually saying, this is, I'm committing to my commitments and I'm going
Yeah.
to follow that through,
Mm.
you won't be able to follow through on your word when you tell somebody no, it's really maybe. When you tell somebody no, it's really, okay, I think I will, even though I don't want to. You always doing the Tamia hustle. You always electric sliding. You always doing the moonwalk.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When
Right.
you
And
got to
it's
stand 10 toes
yeah.
down on it, draw a line in the
Right.
sand,
Mm.
and not jump the line,
Yeah.
but but actually stand firm on what it is.
Right. Yeah. You speak about the spiritual boundaries
Yeah.
and knowing that, and you say in your book as well how there wasn't barbed wire put around the tree of life, right? And so,
Right.
how do you use the Bible to learn how to create boundaries in your life?
Man, that's a great question. I think one of those ways is that when you're looking at spiritual boundaries, it is the whole aspect of that's how God lives,
Mm.
right? He lives with boundaries. I mean,
Wow.
he even there's a scripture that said he created a boundary and gave the sea his decree that it should not pass over this particular area,
Hmm.
right? So when you look at that, God has created this whole particular world, the spectrum of life with boundaries, even in the garden, as I alluded to, even in the book, the whole aspect of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Adam and Eve could have had any other tree in that garden except this one. And if God did not put a a choice there, he makes them a robot, right? I got to give you
Right. Right.
choice,
Right.
right? If
Yeah.
I don't give you choice to either love me or to dishonor me,
Mhm.
I make you a robot. And that's what a boundary is. I mean, that boundary specifically became, hey, don't touch this tree. Don't
Right.
eat from this tree. He
Hmm.
didn't make he didn't make the tree radioactive, didn't put a
Hmm.
fence around the tree,
Yeah.
didn't say, all right, if you touch the tree, you're gonna get zapped.
Mm.
No, he gave them of their own free will and volition. And that comes from that particular aspect as well, because the word is a mirror.
Mm.
If I'm not lining up with the
Wow.
word, God doesn't change. I have to.
Wow,
You know
that's
what
a
I'm
great
saying?
point.
And so from that whole aspect, all right, this is how he operates. This is how I have to operate.
Hmm.
And if I operate this way, I'm gonna have more peace. I'm gonna have more joy. I'm gonna now get the people out of my life who are manipulative, who only want to gaslight, who are only being nice to be milk toast and placate just because they want to get something from me.
Mm.
You can really tell
Yeah.
the people to a certain degree who are for you if you tell them no. No, I can't come. No, I can't be here. Oh, yeah, you got attitude now, or they got attitude now. Oh, you can't come. Da da da. This, that, and the other.
No, it's a problem
Watch
now.
how
It's
people
a problem.
respond to your
Hmm.
no,
Mm.
and that tells you whether you should say yes to them or you keep your no, your
Hmm. Wow,
no.
that's good. That's a good
Because you
point.
know you'll know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
Man.
Yeah, I've used your book to be able to set boundaries in my life as well. And you do say that God is a God of boundaries. He's a God of order. You know, we have the free will, as you just spoke on, to walk after the spirit or walk after the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And it's we want to choose to walk after flesh, but God doesn't make us do it, right? So I was at home and I was I live with my mom still finishing college, and I was, she told me, she said, I need you to wet back the white couch before you leave. I said, I have to go to work. Right? If I'm gonna be late to work because you want me to do something, right? And so then I'm, getting my stuff ready, and I just made it to work in the nick of time. But if I didn't set that boundary,
Mm.
she would have set it for me.
Even with your own parent on.
Even with even with your own parents,
Wow.
and it hurts too because I want to be able to do everything for you.
Mm.
I want to be there for you in that way, but it's it hurts to see that the people closest to you could
Right.
possibly take advantage of you.
Yeah. And even if it's saying, hey, you know what, I can't do that now, but I will when I get back.
Mm,
That whole aspect as
that's a
well.
good one, right?
You know,
Right.
in that whole aspect of even honor and all that. And here it is. You have to set even those boundaries that don't feel good with people who are family and friends,
Mm,
co-workers, those who you've known. And here's what they're gonna do. A lot of times they're gonna say, "Oh, you acting brand new. You feeling
mm,
yourself. You got the big head." You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
To a certain degree, you're trying to keep the peace, but if you don't create that boundary, you're gonna always be in pieces. It's gonna be parts of you here, parts of you there. Gonna be unfocused because here's the thing: the thing that's gonna be eating you is the fact that you said yes when you know you needed to say no.
You'll never be able to fully walk in your purpose if you don't say no.
That's
That's a
true.
great point.
That's true.
That's great.
Saying no allows you to say yes to the right things. It puts you into a place of a season of success
Mm,
and a
wow.
season of yes.
That's because we would be mentally torn down if we
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
saying yes to people.
Always.
Right. So what made you realize that you had to say no?
I would say with the more responsibilities that I have, with the more responsibilities I have, I see that I can't be everything to everybody at all times because I'll be nothing to myself.
Mm,
And you can't pour from an empty cup. And when you're pouring from an empty cup, you have little to nothing, if at all, much less droplets. So either you'll always waste your pour or you'll be trying to pour into people who have holes in their cup because now your discernment is off. And whenever you pour into people who have holes in their cup, you waste your pour, and here's what you do: you now remain poor, passing over opportunities repeatedly. Pastoring a church now, writing multiple books, speaking, doing so much work in the
that's a
community
lot.
even more. I, sometimes you think to yourself, boy, do I even have time for me? And so I have to create those healthy boundaries so that I can have margin and space in my day to even just rest, to not even do anything, to just look at the paint on the walls. You know what I'm saying? to
Watch the
to
paint
just
dry.
sit with myself,
Yeah.
and You have to do that because if not, you'll be burning the candle at both ends. You'll have no room and nothing left for you, and you'll be nothing as a result of it.
Yeah, I see all of the hard work that you put in as far as being a pastor and juggling the mentorship in the church.
Oh
But
yeah,
let's
yeah.
talk about the mentorship that you do,
Right, right, right.
the Iron Man's ministry that has impacted my life in various ways, and it's and all of the men we were speaking of. But have you ever seen the movie Forrest? You ever seen that movie?
Man, I've been told I'm supposed to. I need to see
It's a
that. I
good
haven't seen
movie.
it,
It's
man.
so funny because you literally implement what is takes place in the movie
Really?
with the circle of brotherhood, right?
Wow,
Yes. And so
wow.
it's this guy. His name is Isaiah, and he is headed down the wrong path in life.
Mm,
But then he finds a mentor, and he finds someone that he can learn from, and that mentor he takes him to the circle of brotherhood, and well, not the circle of brother. That's what I
oh
call it.
yeah, yeah, that's what we do in our
Yeah,
mentorship.
yeah.
So.
And so he was finally able to take the lead for himself and mentor other young men. So it's just
Mm,
it's in relation to me as well because you being my high school teacher back in ninth grade and just seeing the growth that you have displayed over the last year from being a pastor of the Remnant Worshipers Church, it's definitely had an impact on me in my life. How has your leadership prior to Remnants affected how you lead this church? Because that's a big deal. That's a big
yeah.
responsibility for
Uh,
the church to be in your hand. Young, old, it's so much. It's so much
mm-hmm,
pressure.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, even the mentorship sessions, you're a product of my mentoring. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
for
I'm
sure.
proud of the
You know,
product right here. This is a product. This is a product
appreciate
of
it.
boys to books, man. And
Appreciate
I
it,
mean,
man.
for the time that you were in ninth grade and engaging you with reading and literacy development and seeing how,
And you're the reason why I read books now,
wow, wow,
right? And you're the
wow.
reason why I'm a voracious reader now.
Mm,
And
mm,
so I
yeah,
credit that to you. And I thought I didn't really pay attention because you know we're in ninth grade and
yeah.
we just worried
A
about
lot of times you
basketball.
wasn't paying attention, but
I'm worried about basketball. I wasn't even worried about my grades. But I tell
yeah.
you all the time. I say, if I would have listened to you sooner,
Oh yeah,
then
oh yeah.
I would have been a lot further. So,
Mm.
um, how has your leadership led over to the church?
Man, I think I've always been in the place of being in training for reigning. You know,
Mm,
even when I think about being a high school teacher, teaching you all, you and your, peers and things of that nature, I had to deal with a multiplicity of personalities, 5 different classes, 30
yeah,
kids. Was that
man.
about 150
Wow.
kids a day?
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're dealing with multiple personalities, dealing with parents, dealing with the politics of school and
Wow.
teaching and bureaucracy, all that stuff. Being in the community, working in politics, speaking,
Mm,
ministering,
mm,
community development, mentorship, all of those things over the years was training for reigning,
wow.
was preparation for this opportunity. And that's why scripture says this: don't despise the day of small beginnings. And a lot of times we just say, all right, you know, this don't mean nothing. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna throw in the towel. I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't feel like doing this because I don't see anything worthwhile coming from it.
You're speaking to me. Yeah, you're
You know what I'm
speaking.
saying?
Right, right. I was.
Taking that one small step. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and you got to stay consistent. Got to be committed, even when it feels like it's not working. All things are working together for the good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah, man. So it's this was all a culmination because now I understand how to deal with personalities and people and I develop my emotional intelligence. You don't have to meet people on the
Mm,
frequency that they are,
mm,
and your frequency is dictated on what you think about frequently.
mm,
You
mm.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
people come up to your level. Don't go
Right,
down to theirs. Just because they don't go low, you ain't got to go lower.
right. You
You know
bring
what I
them
mean?
up.
Bring them on up.
Oh wow.
So
That's tough. Well,
yeah,
definitely asking these questions. I'm happy I'm able to get into the mind of yours a lot
oh yeah,
more.
oh yeah, oh
Didn't know
yeah.
that. I didn't think of those things just like that. But that was
That's maturity that comes with with I can't even say age because everybody doesn't. There's a lot of people who are at a
Mm,
age greater than
mm,
us,
mm.
but they're not at a maturity level of us.
Wow.
So it doesn't come with age; it comes with stage of maturity.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
You could be 50 years old and still
Man,
have the mind of a 15-year-old.
you could still be a grown boy. You know,
Yeah.
you could be an old fool, and you could be also young and wise.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
It doesn't mean just because you're old have wisdom. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
bro.
Yeah. So that's deep.
Yeah, a child shall lead them. Yeah, man.
Oh man. No, that's good.
Old folks stuck in their ways a lot of times. They tripping.
Yeah.
You know, not saying that we casting any aspersions on older people because we need those who have come before us. We definitely need those trailblazers. But there's also those who still need maturational development.
All right. All right. Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that you say that, I see that going on a lot in my daily life of somebody in particular that I'm speaking about. But wow, that's deep.
Hmm.
I want to ask you this. You spoke on the brothers. I've read a few of your books.
Yeah.
About three. The one I'm on currently is Brothers Keeper,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of young men that are lost, that don't know the way, that don't have a mentor. What message would you give to them to inspire and motivate them to go after their dreams and goals?
That's good.
Because you do
Yeah.
so much in the city of Detroit, do so much philanthropy work, mentor. I can speak from the mentorship that you give me personally, and I'm able to. Just speaking about deadlines, I asked you about how to set boundaries with my work, my relationships, my school. You said, look, you got to set a timer. If
Yeah.
you set
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
timer and say, this is what I'm doing this for.
Facts.
For an hour, right? And it's got to get done. You move with that sense of urgency
Hmm.
now.
Yeah.
So different tips like that is what helps young men to be able to succeed.
Hmm.
What message could you give to them?
Got to be cognizant and aware of who you surround yourself with.
Cognizant, meaning
Got to be aware.
okay.
Got to be aware of who you surround yourself with. Like your association brings about assimilation. You
Mm,
show me your friends, I'm gonna show you your future. And one of
wow.
those particular things is that mentorship is key. Mentorship saved my life.
Yes, yes.
You know, mentorship saved
Really?
my life. Oh yeah,
How
especially
how so?
dealing with cancer as a teenager. You know, I wanted to give up, wanted to throw in the towel.
It started that early.
Oh yeah, my principal in high school who
Wow.
came to see about me and my grandfather.
That's why you're a teacher now, huh?
That might be.
That's
I
great.
never actually wanted to become a teacher, but
Mm,
I started mentoring in at Eastern Michigan University,
mm,
and kids took a liking to me. I took a liking to the kids, and I was like, wow, these kids are so impressionable. I'm able to speak life into their life, and I saw how they lit up just like that.
mm.
And I said, you know what? I think teaching might be the road for me to go down. But those mentors that have come into my life, and a lot of times we believe mentorship is just specifically the older to the younger generation, but you can't spell mentor without men.
Man, yeah.
Men need mentors
Mm,
just as much as our young brothers need mentors. How do you navigate the lifestyle of turning 30 and 40 and 50 and
mm,
60 and all that? The roads are turning. You know what I mean?
mm.
You say, for instance, we on a motorcycle. You don't just keep riding the motorcycle just straight on, even when the road is bending.
Nah.
You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
gonna
You
fly
gonna
off the
go right
handle. It's
off,
over,
right?
right? You need those people who have been on that road already, ready, and know how to make the bend, know how to
Mm,
curve with the curves.
mm,
You know what I
mm.
mean? And so, got to make sure that you put yourself in that particular place to where you can be mentored, to where even if you don't have a physical mentor, you always got a virtual mentor.
Wow.
YouTube is a virtual mentor
Wow,
from
really?
oh yeah, for sure. There's virtual mentors out there that you may not necessarily touch them tangibly, talk to them, but here's the thing, now we're living in an accessible society. You can always send them a DM.
Mm,
You can always watch them on YouTube.
mm.
You can always, connect with them in some
Right.
particular way and watch, what it is that they do and see how you can implement it and make it your own.
Mm.
And so that's That's real key. That's necessary. That's important. And just moving into that particular place of your friendships are going to be key.
Mm.
Your mentorships are going to be key
Yeah,
if
and
you're really going to navigate life the way
it,
it needs to be.
yeah, for sure. That's great. It's definitely important for us to be able to not just DM a mentor and ask, "Hey, what tips can I do?" But also,
Yeah.
what can you do for them? Right,
There you go. There
right.
you go. How can I serve?
Yeah. How can
How
you
can I
serve?
serve?
And that's what
Yeah.
it's all about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great. We had the 19-time best-selling author, former teacher, philanthropist for the city of Detroit, and newly renowned pastor of the Remnant Worshipers Church. If
Go
you
get that
haven't
book. Go
already,
get that book. We gotta let them
go
know to go
go
get that
get
book.
go get Know Your No.
How to Build Healthy Boundaries of Love Without Losing Yourself is available on
Yeah.
Amazon. It's available as an ebook as well as a hard copy. You can also get a signed copy on my website, eddieconner.com. Put some respect on my name, EDDIECONNOR.
Mm.
.com. The revolution not only be televised, it'll be digitized. Get this copy, gift a copy.
Mhm.
Connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We don't stop at Eddie Connor Jr. Look at this. A product of the mentorship.
Yeah.
Man, I'm
It was so good I had to
yeah.
get 2 books.
There you go. You are living up to your
Got
last
one for
name.
my friend. So
You're living up
it's
to
a
your
great
last
book.
name. You're doing more. You're doing
Yeah, that's
more. You're
good,
doing
man.
more.
That's
So
good.
that's what
Thank
it's
you.
all about, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate the opportunity to
Appreciate
share
you,
on your
Pass.
show.
Thank you.